What's up YouTube, Jay Traveling here, and today I've finally unboxed my last Octominer and have it sitting on one of my other ones that I'm going to just build right on top of it. Probably not the safest thing to do, but I am limited on space, so I'm going to do it. But I'm going to transfer my For the Win rig into this server case. Now I am short one card. If you guys remember in my previous video, I did have to RMA a 3070 to EVGA because all three fans would not spin. It should be here within the next few days and I'll get this rig finally complete 100%. But it is getting pretty hot in my basement, so I did have to crank the fans 100% on this Octominer. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but I did. Now my copper plated one, I'll show you guys, is not performing quite like it should have. But first thing I did was I shut down my For the Win rig so I could take it apart. Now the fans would spin on it for a little bit and I let them spin for probably like 30 seconds to cool the cars down slightly more, just so I could work with it and get it in there. But then I put all the cards into the rig and got it up and running. Now it is just sitting right on top of another Octominer. Now I think later on I might look to vertically mount them and face the exhaust side towards the window where my exhaust fan is. That may help cool the basement, I'm not sure, but we'll see later on. I'll do some testing and see if that helps with heat management in my basement. But for now, this is how it's going to sit. I have Octominers just sitting all over the place with no organization. Now let's go inside the computer and we'll check this rig out. Now like I said, this is 7 cards right now. I don't have the 8th card. It should be here any day, but I did crank the fans 100%. But this is my copper plated one. Now I did have issues with this card when I first got it. I couldn't get it to mine with a good overclock without crashing the rig. And now that it's in an Octominer, I can't get it over 117 mega hash. Now I'm still troubleshooting and testing. I don't think I have a dead card. I may have just lost some silicon lottery on this one, so I'm not going to go about RMAing it, especially since I tore the card apart and put copper plates on it. But the memory temps are still much better than my other ones. My 3080 is just crushing it with the copper plate at 78C on the memory. Now I did push this one up to 102.5 mega hash at 2800 on the memory. That is my best performing 3080. Not that I have a ton of them, but it's also one of the best performing ones that I've seen people use after copper modding. Not that I'm saying I got real lucky with it, but I did probably win some silicon lottery on that one. So it makes up a little bit for this 3090. Now one thing I did notice is when I powered it on my other rig, I had 3 strands from the 6-pin to 8-pin going to the each 3090. So I had 1 strand with a 6-pin to 8-pin with a splitter on it that powered the riser, and then 1 of the 8 pins on the card. And then the other 2 8-pins each had their own 6-pin to 8-pin coming off the breakout board also. So I may look to grab some of my parallel miner cables and rewire this one to see if I can get some better performance. It's a long shot, I'd say, but it's worth the investigation since I have all the stuff to do so. But you can see my other overclocks here. I am able to push these 3070s a little bit harder, and I'm getting roughly 62.1 mega hash on each one, a little bit more. And my other 2 3090s, 123.6 mega hash. This one here was throttling a little bit before I put the fans to 100%. So I'm going to leave them at 100% to cool that card down just a tad. It was dropping to about 121 mega hash and getting the temperature down on the memory. I don't like to ping them at thermal throttling, but inside this case it is getting a little hot. So some things I'm looking at currently is upgrading the fans on this rig, just this Octominer, to a higher CFM fan, just to pump the air through these cars to get it out quicker and get that heat out. I haven't found the fans just yet, but I'm gonna keep looking, because if I can cool them quicker and get the copper plates on them, it should be good. But I do have the 2 copper plate sets for these 2 that are running hotter, so maybe after I get that put on, it'll cool this rig down. Maybe in theory, if these 2 cards are cooler, then the rig in general may come down just a little bit. I won't have to run 100% fan, but we'll see later on down the road when I get the time to actually take these cards apart and plate them. With this card performing less than these two, it makes me wonder about plating them, but I know I did have issues with this one specifically prior to this issue here, so it could be just a problematic card in general. But the rig hasn't crashed and it's been running for over a day now, so I don't think that I'm going to have an issue with crashing per se. I am getting over 650 mega hash out of this rig. Now, once I get my last 3070, this will be pushing over 700 mega hash. This will be my largest rig to date as far as expense and hash rate, obviously. But it's been mining pretty solid for the past day or so, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. I do have about 4 more amps to play with, so I am planning on possibly building one more rig, but I don't know what I'm going to build yet. I don't know if I want to upgrade this rig with more 3090s and take some cards out and put them on another rig, or if I want to possibly buy another 3070 to put in this rig and then build out a 3080 rig. I'm still tossing around some ideas. I may start liquidating one of my 112 by 6600 and 6600 XT rig, just to make up some room on my power bank to run more higher powered cards. I'm looking to get more dense than I am now. Before, I wanted like a high number of graphics cards but keep efficiency in mind, so I bought a bunch of 6600s and 6600 XTs. Now I kind of want to condense down to less cards for better heat management, in my opinion. So I will keep brainstorming things on what I want to do that way. But as far as this rig, probably going to stay where it's at. I really don't know. If I do liquidate that one rig, I'll see where my other one is powered on, and I'm going to keep my 8x68 or 6600 XT rig, and I can probably power it on the bank with this one and then free up some more power that way. But we'll see when the time comes. But I'd like to hear people's thoughts on my 3090 that's not performing well. Some troubleshooting that I've done so far, I've tried switching it on the motherboard. I tried switching the power around a little bit, but not too much. Not like I was saying, like I'm going to try later on. And I've also tried a fresh install of HiveOS. I've tried updating drivers in HiveOS, and I've also tried changing miners in HiveOS. And I've gotten pretty much the same result out of everything. I've tried low miner, I've tried MB miner, I've tried G miner, and I'm sitting on T-Rex right now, which is the one that I want to be on anyway. But if you guys have any other ideas of what I could try, I don't really want to tear the card apart again, but if I need to, I will. I also may try flicking the BIOS switch on it to silent mode, see if that changes anything. But we'll see. Hopefully I can get it running, because that card was doing 124.5 mega hash before switching it over. So I lost almost 8 mega hash, I'd say. I lost. So just from transferring it over from Octominer to the Octominer. Now I don't know if the riser hit a buried issue with the card or not. I'd like to think that it didn't. But thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this rig. Hopefully I'll have it 100% complete, finished in the next day or two. And I can give you guys a quick update on it once I get the last card in it and back from EVGA. Hopefully it's in working condition and can perform just as good as the other ones. But thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more.